I started thinking like I can actually feel my awareness splinter into 4 quadrants.
Mm.
And right. And so 2 of them, I feel like when I'm really externally focused. And that can be like that can be a great thing sometimes to be externally focused, right? Like you need to be moving through the world, or like you're on vacation and you're out, you're skiing or you're doing your hiking or you're biking. Like you want that external, focus to take in the nature and the outside world, right? And then maybe sometimes on your meditation or on your mat, you really want to have more of this like internal focus. But then I can also feel like if I'm having dinner with a friend and he's talking, but I'm so internally focused because there's something on my mind, I'm missing, and I need more external. So these are the 2 ways I think of it. And then I also think about it as being the wide and the narrow. And we've probably, in some capacity done this before, but it's really about like, I think of it like a flashlight or something where, yeah, sometimes we really do want to like hone down like only on the breath or only on one sensation. And other times I really want to feel my whole body in the practice or something, so maybe as you just kind of like move through class, kind of see, where do you maybe tend to land, right? Is our practice trying, when you have a good yoga practice, is it when you're more narrowly and internally focused, or is it when you really stay very open, and maybe this makes you feel more present? I'm not, I'm really been thinking about this. I'm not of the opinion that actually one of these is like a better place to be during the practice. It's just knowing where you are in that sphere at that particular point of time, I got to think a little bit more about these 2, but so that's the idea for practice. You definitely need a block, and we will get started. Just you'll feel your core tomorrow. I think I'll put it that way. I will put it that way. Okay, so yeah, place the block in between the thighs to a place where you can have a nice grip on it. Ooh, Maria. Hi, Maria. Um, actually, while Claire lays down and just kind of like gathers her breath for a second, and you get set up, I just want to. This is a little bit of our practice today. These 4 quadrants of your attention, either being externally focused or internally focused, okay? Or is your attention very wide, like maybe like you feel your whole body, or are you going to narrow in on one specific muscle group? And I was trying to explain to Claire that I don't think any one of these quadrants is better than the other, or what we're specifically trying to get to. It's more, can you kind of check breath by breath actually where you are, where you're focused? Okay, so that's just kind of the theme. You definitely need a block today. We'll lay down and we'll just start to get into breath here. Okay, and then Claire, you might want to interlace the hands behind the back of the head and just let the elbows open wide. Okay. And also I'm going to ask, because as you settle in, is where are you on that quadrant right now? And if there's one of those spaces where you'd like to be, if you really wander from that or get distracted from that, let that be your intention to come back. Inhale. And as you exhale, please squeeze the block between the thighs. Inhale, breath rebounds up into the chest. Exhale, squeeze the block. See if we can pull the side waistline down a little bit more. Feel more connection of the low back into the mat. One more, inhale. And as I exhale and try to push my lumbar spine down, I do feel my feet connect more forward and down through the mat. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, start to do some crunches here. Okay. And so there are times when I have us do these with the breath, right? Nice and slow. But actually, today I want you to kind of just find a nice little rhythm that quickly begins to build the heat without cranking on the neck. And if you tend to be one of those people who pulls on your neck too much, sometimes I just take my fingertips to my ears, keeping my elbows wide as I crunch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Reach your arm bones back, biceps next to your ears. Inhale there. Take a full sit up. Come all the way up, biceps next to your ears here. Yep. Good. Roll all the way down, hands plant, and do a hip bridge as you squeeze the block between inner thighs. And we try not to pez the center of the block up too much. We actually try to roll it down. Good. Nice, Claire. And then hips down, arms reach up and over. Inhale. Exhale, full sit up. Come on up. Try to find the tops of your sitting bones. As you roll down, plant feet, plant palms, press the shoulders into the mat. Come on up. Do your hip bridge and practice internally rotating your thighs. Good. Hips down, arms back. Inhale, reach through fingertips. Exhale, sit up. This is number 3. Maybe the chest lifts a little bit higher. Roll down with control. Try to keep the feet on the mat and lift up hip bridge, turning on the hamstrings. And you'll feel that the block pez the sensors up when you squeeze the glute too much, right? We want to balance that out exactly, Claire, by squeezing the block down. Take your hips to the mat. Yep, Maria, make sure you have a block between your thighs. Inhale, arms back, and come all the way up. Yep, number 4, we try to keep the feet on the mat as you roll down. Plant feet, plant hands. We come up into our hip bridge. Okay, so we obviously want strong glutes, but some of the reasons why we get low back problems is because we don't have enough of a balancing action with the inner thighs. Okay, last one, hips all the way down, arms reach back. That helps you just kind of stretch out your abdominals. It helps you get a little bit of momentum as you sit nice and tall. Good. And then release down, hands to the mat, final hip bridge here. Maybe you feel outer knees, outer hips firm in and help you hug that block. Good. Lower your hips down. Pick up your feet. Now take the block, you guys, and put it in front of your knees, like on the tops of your thighs. Okay. Bring your forearms to the block. Breathe at the bottom here. And then as you exhale, lift up and press and hold the forearms into the block for 5, 4. Keep pressing the knees forward. 3, 2, 1. Head down. Inhale. My knees shift forward. That's a little bit okay. But when I come on up, I want my knees to go more forward and really drive through the elbows and maybe look down towards your belly button and imprint the low back onto the mat as you lower. Inhale, soften the shoulders, knees shift, come on up. Can we get more of the upper back away from the mat and then really drive the forearms and the knees into each other? The more you press your knees into the block, you're going to feel lower abs. Lower down, this could be kind of hard, okay? Inhale, I find this to be very strong. Come on up, and it's really an equal action as you try to press both knees forward and both elbows into the block. Lower down, you have one more. Inhale, going into this third chakra, head lift, chin to chest, lift all the way up, elbows drive in, forearms drive in, and then push into the block for 3, 2, 1. Good. Release. Take that block, put the block between only your right knee and your right forearm. Good. Here. And then extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to take my left arm out to the side for a second. And I'd like you to start to do some slow leg lift. Okay. And the reason why I'd like us to start here is because there's kind of a lot going on. I want you to make sure that you're still driving that forearm and knee into the block. I really want you to give the right side of your core muscles a job. And then when the left leg lowers, and especially you, Maria, because I know you have some back stuff, only lower the leg to where you can keep your low back on the mat. If I go too far, my low back arches. And then Claire, you might find a spot at the bottom where you could squeeze your butt muscle, right? And kind of get the bottom of the core. Now, left leg goes up. Take your left arm alongside your left ear. Good. Yep. Lower, hover your left leg down. Inhale. And then exhale, lift up and tap, touch that left toe. Jackknifing in. Good. Lower the head, open it up. Now, don't forget, as you continue, okay, to keep pressing right elbow and right knee together as you jack up. Yep. And we reach back and we press through heel for 5. Yep. Now, please get your left shoulder blade up. Don't leave it on the floor. 3. Yep. 2, try to lift straight up, get more of the upper abdominals. And 1. Good. Release. Change side. Full left forearm connected to the block. Drive the knee. Remember, the knee wants to shift in. Just take your right hand out to the side, you guys. Let that be relaxed. Right shoulder relaxed. Extend right leg up. Drive out through the heel. So we start to try to like stretch a little bit into the hamstring and the back of the knee. And then please do these single leg lifts without losing your low back. Okay. I like to inhale down and exhale up. Okay, but find your rhythm. And then this entire time, we started with the block in between the thighs. That is to remind you that that inner right thigh, and I think you might really be able to feel this, Claire, because you kind of got that Pez dispensing thing. The inner thigh really rolling down as you lower the leg. And you're going to go 3, lifting it back up with a lot of control, less momentum. 2, you can feel the air resist you. And then take your leg back up, extend right arm alongside your right ear. Thumb is always turning down here. Pinky edge side of the hand is turning up. Check in with what quadrant are you in. Like I'm a little bit narrowly focused into the center, like the sensation in my core. Lower your right leg down. Don't lose the right side waistline pressing into the mat. Inhale. And then please lift up and really try to reach past the toes. Good. And lower. And lift. Nice big kind of like half crunch in. We're going for 8. So you have 5, lift a little higher. Both shoulder blades up off the mat. 4. Right, kind of hurdle the spine, meaning really kind of find like the shell of your back body. And 2. Yep. And go ahead. Do 1 more as you lower down. Step both feet into the mat. Okay. So right leg is going to straighten. Can you guys place the block on your right foot? Now, if you do not feel because of hamstring length that you're going to be able to hold that block, that's fine. Just remove the block, okay? But again, it's this technique of giving part of the body a stabilizing like a job, and the other part of the body is going to be in movement. Squeeze the block between your thighs, right? That imaginary block. Interlace the hands behind the back of the head and extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. Okay, good. And then start your leg lift here, up and down, just a couple times. Both thighs are internally rotating. Okay, good. And then as you do that, now let your left knee draw in towards your chest. Squeezing it in. Okay, get that rhythm. Exactly, Maria. Pressing forward, whole time, low back is down. And now add the bicycle twist. So as your left knee comes in, your right shoulder comes across, and you gotta try to crunch as you hold. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Left shoulder blade up. Don't be lazy keeping the left shoulder blade down. 2 and 1. Good. Left foot steps into the mat. Release the block. Change sides. Keep the breath going, you guys, right? I want a lot of awareness through. This should be getting entire core. We're getting upper, middle, lower, and the transverse abdominis. Okay, interlace the hands behind the back of the head. Extend your right leg up, just a couple leg swings to remind you to connect to low back. Yep, and left side of the body has a job. You are internally rotating your thighs. Please try not to forget that. And then when the right leg lowers, you pull the knee in towards the chest. Find that rhythm of drawing right thigh in towards your right rib. Yep, a little squeeze. And now you start to bring left shoulder to right knee as you bicycle and everything comes up. Yep, both shoulder blades lift. I prefer the lift and then the twist. If I just twist, my right shoulder blade stays lazy. If I lift everything up and then twist, I get the entire core. Yep, and let's go. 5, all the way up. 4, okay. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release. Grab your block. This is a little bit harder, okay? I'm going to take my block and I'm going to squeeze my block in between my right heel. You know what? I'm going to do left leg, you guys, just so you can see it better to start. I'm going to put it between like my left heel, my left thigh, my left thing. I want to squeeze that block now that I feel my right or my left hamstring turn on. Okay, so when I reach under, I can feel that by digging my heel into the block that is turned on. And then extend your right leg forward, interlace the hands behind the back of the head, inhale, and then exhale, draw that right knee in and crunch everything up, and then press the right leg forward and hover it. Yep, don't let it touch. Keep squeezing the block with the left heel as we continue to crunch in, and then go ahead and kind of pick up the pace. Hips up, shoulders up, and let's go. 8, 7, if you pull too much on your head, remember my suggestion is to put your fingertips on your ears and not crank at the neck for 4, 3, 2, 1. How's the low back doing? Yep, good. And then change sides. Block goes under. So this is one where I'm finding because your posterior chain is engaged, it's easy to lose the low back. Keep it connected. Interlace fingers or touch the tops of your ears. Extend that left leg forward as you hover. This is your inhale. And pull everything in, small little ball. So Claire, we've been doing like a lot of that like pistol squat type work. Think of that, that's like the same thing, pulling both knees in, ribs to thighs. How's the hamstring? 5, 4, 3, yep, everything up, everything up. 2, when you extend the leg, don't lose the low back. 2, and 1. Good. Release. Step both feet into the mat. Okay, now I'm going to take the block and I'm going to take it a little bit wider. So still LA style, right? But into my inner knee. So I'm going to clamp up a little bit higher. Yep. And then straighten the legs and flare out through the toes. Good. Push the feet and the knees over the hips. Take the arms up overhead with the block wide. So I'm kind of looking at my legs, you guys, and it's like a V. Okay, I've got a nice little V going here. Inhale. And then lift everything up and bring that right hand to the outside edge of your left knee. Squeeze the block like chopsticks, please. And now pull. 10, 9, 8, 7. Still squeezing the block. Stretching up through the root of the big toes. 3, 2, 1. Arms up and back. Inhale. Return into the block. You tighten up the quadriceps. Look at your toes. Spread them open. Chopstick the legs together. Inhale. Exhale. Sit up and crunch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Arms up and over. Okay, now we're going to move that block up in between the feet and ankles. Okay. Arms are up overhead. Firm in. So now remember the block at the inner thighs. Remember the block at the inner knee. Now you've got the ankles. The entire leg should be turned on. Keep your low back down. Do not only go as low as you can keep your low back down. As you start to double lower both legs, squeeze in. Good. Use your butt muscles for support, and then lift up, grab the block. Please grab the block. And then legs go forward, arms reach back. Think like a handstand here. Now, what happened to the low back? Try to connect it there. Come on up, place the block, squeeze the ankles. Yeah, good. And press into the block, press into the block as the legs go forward, the arms go back, control through the front rib, squeeze block, squeeze block, squeeze block. Come all the way up. Lift up, grab that block. Good. And lower. So I think like when I like those like mermaid legs and really turning your inner thighs down, reaching back here. And you're gonna do one last one, please. Come all the way up. Make this your best one. This should be the entire abdominal walk, you guys. Outer ankles, outer knees, outer hips. Put your low back down. Reach back. I want you long and strong. Press through your inner heels, stretching it forward. Try not to lose it. And then come all the way back up to center. Woo, and release. I think we felt that. Okay, bring the block LA style underneath your sacrum. Yep. Arms out to the side, legs extend. Okay. 10 double leg lift. Lower the legs down. Let them fall into the negative space and lift back up. Okay. I'm going to be a little bit quiet here. And now, narrow internal focus. So with that narrow internal focus, you don't lose the internal rotation of the thigh. You don't lose the connection of the sacrum onto the back of the hip. Okay, 5. Flare out through toes. 4. So when the legs drop into the negative space where you might feel your low back muscles actually engage. So it's actually a little bit of a strengthener more for the back of the core here when we drop into the -3. Yeah, my heels just about touch the floor. 2. Okay, and 1. Good. Step the feet down into the mat. Remove the block as you hug your knees into your chest. Inhale. Exhale, no hands. Get a couple rocks here and yeah, feel the entire, yep, all the way up. Good. And then please plant feet into the mat. Feet together, knees together, and take your block up. Good. And then hover your feet. And Russian twist. Tap your block back behind you as much as you can. So I used to just kind of take it right to the outside of my hip. I'd like you to try to like turn back and look at the back corner of your mat every time you pass it through. 10, 9, knees together. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Plant your hands back behind you. Step your feet into the mat. Lift your chest. And as you lift your chest, squeeze your glutes. Fire up your hamstrings. Take a big breath here as you soften into the belly. And exhale, lower your hips down. Good. Extend legs forward. Take your block, set it up. Highest height, New York style. Okay. Hands at your heart. Shoulders roll back and down. Yep. Left leg up and over. So don't let it touch the floor. And this is, we're working our way, you guys, kind of through all the muscles that feed into the core. And this is a lot of hip flexor, inner thigh. Nice job, Clara, keeping your chest lifted. And I try to look up a little bit towards the ceiling. That helps me to keep my chest higher as I go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that left foot down. Reset a little bit taller. And then please change sides, up and over. Yep, gaze is up. I like to point my toe. When I point my toe, instead of getting hamstring, now you're going to get the strength in the quadricep into the hip flexor, gaze is up, shoulders roll back and down. Support the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, bring that right leg over. Oh, woo, you just burned those up, Maria, right? You did it. You did those really fast. Legs together, hands at your heart. Can you go up and over both legs? Keep them glued like you've got the inner thighs and knees together. Nice. Up and over. 5, 4. Try not to let the legs separate. Put them down gently. Notice that they want to kind of slam down. Lift up. 3, 2, without rounding too much in the spine. And 1. Good job, you guys. Remove that block. Cross your ankles. Meet me in tabletop position. Okay, from tabletop, I think a cow should feel good as you pull the pubic bone, pes the sensor, the inner thighs back, stretch the belly by pulling the heart away from the pubic bone, lift up through the chin, maybe look up, inhale, and then exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, knees to the mat, tabletop. Put the block in between the knees so that your thighs stay parallel, and then you don't want the block touching the floor, okay? You want the block like hovering. And then as you tuck your toes, you're gonna hover your knees. Inhale, center. We do this one a lot. Exhale, turn the knees to the right, and then come back through center and over to the left. So we have not hit your obliques yet. Okay, so this should get more of the side of your core. I think of my core like a box. We've gotten the top, the middle, the bottom, a little bit of the back, and now hit the side. Try not to let your shoulders shift back. And use the exhale breath, please, you guys, to really squeeze. And let's do 3, 2, 1. Release back to center. Remove the block. Inhale, cow, stretch belly, shoulders press down away from your ears. Keep the rotation of the hip. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg floats up and back. 3-legged down dog. Yep. Okay, good. Turn the right hip in because you have a block in between your thighs, right? The whole class, you're squeezing that imaginary block. Squeeze that imaginary block to roll your right hip down more. Then fold right heel in towards right sitting bone. Like when you were squeezing the block, you should feel a hamstring. Now shift forward and draw right knee in towards your nose, like you were squeezing a block between your thigh and rib. And take it up and back. 3-legged down dog. Inhale. Square the hip, please. Turn the right hip down more. Engage hamstring. Fold the leg in. And shift forward. How much can you pick up your your right foot, your right shin bone, rounding all the way forward too. Take it up and back one more time. Re-engage. Outer left hip needs to be pulling back. Give that hip a job. Squeeze, engage hamstring. Draw in, knee to nose, knee through the elbows, look forward and step. Right foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. Shift forward, standing L, flex your foot. Yep, now your right hip draws back. Inhale, look forward like a cow pose. Exhale, bend both knees, draw everything in. Can you touch your eyebrows to your kneecap? Both of them, both knees bent, small package, small ball. And then open, inhale, standing L. It's a lot like what we were doing on our back as you curl in when you were like hovering that block. And you pull in for 3, open it up, 2, and 1. Standing L, step your left foot back, low lunge, stretch it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, slide it forward into plank pose. Exhale, bend elbows, lower all the way down. Point toes, come onto the tops of your feet. Tuck the chin into the chest. Rest the forehead on the mat. Now reach the arms forward, like you're holding a block in between your hands, like you're doing a handstand on your stomach. Push your ankles down. If I was there, I would hold your ankles onto the floor. And then lift the block, lift the head, lift the chest. Engage your back body muscles. Get the lower back and lower. Inhale. Lift up. Exhale. Look forward and stretch. If I was there, you'd be like clamping onto the block between your hands, and I try to pull the block more forward as you lower. Softening. And you're going to take one more. Ankles down, hips down. How much of the spine can you get up off the mat as you push the belly down? And release. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Good. Okay, close your eyes. So why do I say close your eyes? It can take you from the external, the reaching out, the pulling in, to the internal. Widen your awareness to feel your entire body. And then zoom in to find breath. Left leg. Inhale, left leg float. Good. Bend left heel in until you feel the hamstring either cramp or engage. Good. Shift forward, knee to nose. Keep the back leg active. All the way into plank, shoulders over wrists. Swing it up and back. Inhale. Fold knee. Fold that hip joint as you hinge forward. Left knee towards your left eyebrow, pulling in and up. And then please send that back one more time. Left hip down and in. Bend the knee. And shift, 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 shift. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, and step. Left foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. Good. Take that all the way forward. Standing L. Last one. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, draw in. Everything touches. So my inner knees are touching. Both knees are bending. Small package. Eyebrows to kneecaps. Inhale, open. Round the spine. Big tuck in. And when you get to the bottom of that tuck, squeeze the belly button back towards the spine. Hollow out. Inhale. Press the floor. Exhale in. 3. Yep. 2. You can maybe feel your hip flexor and it be your lower abdominals. That helps to pull that leg in. As you extend your right leg back, please. Step it all the way back. Low lunge. Downward facing dog. Find your quadrant. Where are you? Refocus. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, lower straight down onto your belly. Point toes. This time, please interlace the hands behind the back of your head. Keep your forehead down. Before you lift your head, lift your elbows as high as you can away from the floor. So as you lift your elbows, you should feel the muscles now on your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Lift the head. Lift the chest. Coil more into the upper back. Good. And lower. Inhale down. There's only 3 of them, you guys, so really try to get this. Elbows up, lift, 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 driving the heart forward. It's going to help you keep your chest more open as you lower for 2. Inhale. And exhale. Come up, come up, come up, come up. Good. Soften at the neck and lower. Hands underneath your shoulders. Downward facing dog, please. And whatever's been working for you to feel inner leg, that spiral through the pelvis. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Walk your feet forward, top of your mat. Okay. Maria, I know you don't have a booty band, okay? And then both of you come up. If you don't have a booty band, that's fine, okay? But Claire, since you have one, go ahead, put it up over the tops of your thighs. And we don't have much longer in class here. Okay, so we start with our feet wide. Yep, put some resistance onto that band, and it can take a second to get this rhythm, right? We start with our feet wide, and then arms up, you jack in and you jack out. So you start wide, Claire, jack in, jack out. Okay, then hands down, then feet jump back, wide, jack in, jack out. Okay, then, yep. And then when your feet are wide, you jump forward and jack in, jack out. Hands to the mat, back to plank, jack in, jack out. Yep. So it's a little bit different. Here we go. All right, do 10 full rounds, little bit of heart rate, but with the resistance so we feel the legs in the core. And then this is core work, you guys, because when you jump forward, you're using your lower abdominals. Please pull the feet all the way up by the hands, all the way up. 3, 2, 1. Meet me back in the plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend elbows. Inhale, up dog. Hips lift up and back, down dog. Knees to the mat. Tabletop. Lift your left knee out to the side. I need to lower my back a little, band a little bit closer to the knees. Left knee out to the side. Fire hydrant. Right hip in. 10. Connect it. Inner thigh. Outer hip to core. Keep weight in the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Left knee down. Keep weight balanced. Right leg out. Inner and outer hip. Front ribs are in. Narrow focus into the core here, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross your ankles. Roll over your shins. Remove the strap. Bottoms of your feet together. Knees wide. Okay. Tap your fingertips out on your abdominals. So kind of knead, poke, tap, kind of jiggle to release. Inhale. Out through the mouth, exhale. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Extend the legs. Shavasana. Bring your internal focus narrowly onto your core. Feel the connection, feel the heat. And now spread that out wide through your entire body. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, and then like the wiggling the fingers and the toes, it's to prepare you to be more like external. Bring your awareness the outer surface of the body and bring your awareness back into the room. And as you stretch your arms up overhead, find the balance between inner and outer, narrow and wide as you bend your knees, roll to the right, and then come up to finding seated. With your hands folded in front of your heart center. Okay. So play with this today a little bit, you guys, and then maybe for tomorrow for the basics class, when we dive into this a little deeper, you'll have some experience with it. As you take your thumbs to your third eye, bow forward to seal your practice. Try Siddhatma.